All right, number 11. As we're looking at number 11, it says Mary is using the box to help her find the missing terms from her products and factor, or factors and product. Fill in the missing terms and find the product and the factors. The first thing that I want you to remember is around the outside, those are called the what? The factors or the product? Factors. Okay, factors are what's around the outside. The product is what's inside here. Okay, so this is the product. Now, you treat it like a puzzle to try and figure out what goes where. I know that inside here I have x squared. Well, x times what gives you x squared? X, because x times x is x squared. Now, I can go with the other pieces. I can do x times 9 gives me 9x. All right, well, now I've got these two pieces right here. So to get some help here, I've got 9 times what gives me negative 18? Because you look inside here and you look to the left and above. 9 times what is negative 18? Negative 2. Negative 2. Make sure, because you take this number divided by the one up there. Well, now inside for my product, x times negative 2 is negative 2x. Now I have the information how I can fill out my factors. The factors are what's on the outside. So I have x minus 2 times x plus 9. You can write it like this, or you can write x plus 9 times x minus 2. It doesn't matter the order. Now, the product, what's inside, I know I start with x squared. You put these two boxes together. 9 plus negative 2. Remember, this is like a plus sign right here. That's positive 7x minus 18. Oh, that's not an 18 I wrote, is it? There we go. Minus 18. So now, there's my factors, there's my product. To check, what do you need to do in order to check to make sure you did it right? Put your factors into y1 in the calculator, your product into y2, and press second graph. Oops, let's see if I can spell right. G-R-A-P-H. Remember, all of y1 and y2 have to be the same. All right, let's go back here and let's look at this one. Let's answer number 10. It says the area of a square frame is n squared minus 10n plus 25 square inches. What is the length of each side of the frame in terms of n? Now, on this one of the things you need to remember is, what does it mean, or what is one of the things we know about squares? The sides are the same, right? They're all the same. So that means that when I come up with my factors, they've got to be exactly the same. With me saying that before you do the box, can you figure out what it is? Because that means the parentheses right here, whatever's inside of there has to be exactly the same. Well, I look at this, and n squared splits up as n and n. Well, if I need to find these other ones, what are the factors of 25? Well, they're 1 and 25, negative 1 and negative 25. What else are factors? 5 and 5 and negative 5 and negative 5. I need the factors. Remember, we said that the squares, they have to be exactly the same. So that means it can't be either one of these. How do I know out of these two sets of factors which one is correct? They add up together to give you what? Negative 10. Which one does add up together to give you negative 10? Negative 5 and negative 5. So my answer is going to be n minus 5 times n minus 5. Okay, again, to check it, put the problem right here into y1, what you believe the answer is into y2 and press second graph. And look and see if y1 and y2 are the same. Okay, here's the next one. I'm going backwards, and I know that on the paper that you have if you downloaded it. Right now, it says, what is the GCF of the polynomial? Please do that now. Right here, what is the GCF? GCF stands for greatest common factor. Well, the first thing I go through and see is I look at the number that's right here in front, 12. Does 12 go into 24? Yeah. But does 12 go into 15? No. Okay, so my GCF is not 12. What's another big number that goes into 12? What's the next biggest number? 6. Does 6 go into 24? Does 6 go into 15? No. Oh, that stinks. Okay. No 12, no 6. Well, 4 is the next one, but 4 doesn't go into what? 4 doesn't go into 15. So the next one that goes into 12 is 3. Okay, does 3 go into 24? Yes. Does it go into 15? Yeah, because I can divide each one of these things by 3, and it works out. So, but they didn't ask us to do that. They just wanted to know what's the GCF. GCF is 3. Now, to remind you, in the calculator, one of the things you can do to find your GCF, you go to Math, arrow over to Number, and you press 9. Now, I already know 12 goes into 24, but I need to figure out what the GCF is between 12 and 15. So I would type in 12, comma, 15. And that's when I came up with 3. So then when I look at 3, I say, okay, does 3 go into 24? Yes, it does. So that would be my GCF. Because remember, in the calculator, you cannot put 3 of the numbers. All right. Let's go back up here. Or no, I don't want to go that far. Let's go back. What the heck? Okay. Look right here on number 8. Number 8, how is it different than number 7? It has no what? It has no X. In this one right here, it has no X number. Okay, so some of you, I've already heard you say, what is special about this? This is called the what? Difference of squares. All right, so difference, I would write that on my paper, of squares. Difference of squares means that inside here, they're the exact same. This is an example. Exact same, but what? One's positive, one's negative. So they look exactly the same, but one's positive, one's negative. So if I split this up here, what number could I put here and here that would give me 16 that's the same? What number times itself gives me 16? 4. So I have 4x and 4x. Now, I know that there's supposed to be a plus and a minus. What are the factors of 1? 1. That's it. 1 and 1. There are my factors right there. Because it's the difference of squares, I know that they're the same, but one is positive, one's negative. That's why I could go through and do this on number 8. Now, look at number 7. All right. Is this like Superman? Does it have any special powers? No, not really. So your step 1 is to go through. Is there a GCF? Is there a GCF besides the number 1? No, because there's no number in front of x squared. So there's nothing else for us to do except for put it in the box and try and factor it. Now, some of you can see the shortcuts in a little bit, but I'll go ahead and do it with the box. I put x squared here. What goes in the bottom right-hand corner? -8. Then I have something x, something x. Okay, the number in front of your x squared. 1 times -8 is negative 8. I need the factors of negative 8. I have 1 and negative 8, negative 1 and 8, negative 2 and 4, 2 and negative 4. Now, if you don't know these, you can also go into the calculator, go to y equals, and put in there, oh, that was already there, negative 8 divided by x. Second graph. Now, looking here, there's my factors listed. So I should be able to add my whole numbers. Right here, I've got negative 1 plus 8. Negative 1 plus 8 is a positive 7. That means that this is supposed to be my factors. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put negative 1 and 8. And it doesn't matter where you put it at. Now, x squared splits up as x and x. X times what is 8x? Plus 8. X times what is negative 1? Or negative 1x, negative 1. So my factors are x plus 8 times x minus 1, or you can write it the other way. X minus 1 times x plus 8. Either way is correct. Let's go back to number 1. And let's start here. Okay, I'm actually looking at number 6. And right here, when we go to do this problem, first thing your thought process should always be is there a GCF? Is there a greatest common factor? There's not, because there's no number in front of the x squared. Okay, so let me cancel that. I'm going to erase that real quick. So I put this, I don't have a GCF, so now I can put this in the box. I'm going to put the x squared in the top left, the 25 in the bottom right. Then I have something x, something x. Remember, you take the number in front of the x squared. 1 times 25 is 25. I need the factors of 25. What multiplies together? I've got 1 and 25, negative 1 and negative 25, 5 and 5, and negative 5 and negative 5. But what do I need to happen with those factors? They need to what? They need to equal positive 10 when we add them together. When I add these together, I get 26. Right here, I get negative 26. I get 10. Oh, ding, 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 ding. I'm not going any farther. So I have 5 and 5. Now, x squared splits up as x and x. That's always easy. See, like one of the first things we used to do when we did it mentally, we'd go up here and we'd just put x and x and try and figure out the other part. Well, x times what is 5x? Plus 5. X times what is 5x? Plus 5. So I have x plus 5 times x plus 5. What's another way of writing that? Yeah, you can go through and do x plus 5 and make it squared. That means the exact same thing. Let's go back here. Let's look at number 5. Please try and do number 5. So on number 5, the first thing I told you we always do is look and see, is there a GCF? The first number in front of x, the number up here in front of x squared is a 2. Does 2 go into 5 evenly? No. There's no number that's a GCF, so there's nothing I can do with this. So what I need to do is I put the 2x squared in the first box, the negative 42 in the second one. Something x, something x. Now, you're multiplying these two numbers. So I have 2 times negative 42, which is negative 84. Oh, okay. I need the factors of negative 84 that give me positive 5. Now, if I didn't know what my factors were, or I didn't know how to list them, how do I put it in the calculator to find them? Yes, sir. Yep, you're going to go in here to the calculator, go to y equals. and put in there negative 84 divided by x. And I'm going to press second graph, and I'm looking to see which ones add up together to give me positive 5. Well, this gives me positive 25. What is that? 21 and 4, that's positive 17. What about this one? 14 plus 6, or 14 minus 6 is what? 8. Okay, yuck. Oh, what about this one? 12 plus negative 7. That one works. So my factors end up being 12 and negative 7. It doesn't matter which box you put it in, but something will matter in just a second. I'm going to put the 12, and I'll put the negative 7. Now, 2x squared is going to split up as 2x times x, okay? It matters where you put it. See, because if I did this and just guessed and did this, some people go, well, x times 12 gives me 12x, but 2 times what gives me negative 7? Is there a whole number? When I take negative 7 divided by 2, that gives me a decimal. The 2x can't go up there. That's one way to look at it and figure it out. Because then if I put the 2x here and the x here, 2x times what gives you 12x? 6. X times what gives you negative 7x? Negative 7. Well, that makes sense because out of these two boxes, what's the GCF? Does 2 go into 12 and 2 go into 2? Yes, that's why the GCF comes out over here. So now my answer is 2x minus 7 times x plus 6. Remember, you can write it this way or reverse the order. You can write x plus 6 times 2x minus 7. Either way is correct. There is no GCF. There was nothing we pulled out. If there was a GCF, then yes, you have to put it in front. Okay, here's the next one. Let's go back to number 4 right now. First thing you want to do is look and see, is there a GCF? Please do that now. All right, first one though, when you look at this, is there a GCF? Is there a greatest common factor? Well, I mean, there is, but it's the number 1. See, and the reason why I know that is because if I have the number 1 right here, okay, there's nothing I can pull out out of these to change any of these numbers. So with that being said, the first thing I'll do is go down here in the box. I'll put the 5x squared in the top left. Bottom right is a 1. I have something x and something x. Well, remember, we're multiplying these two numbers. 5 times 1 is 5. I need the factors of 5. That shouldn't be too hard. It's only 1 and 5 and negative 1 and negative 5. But what do I do with these factors? Add them together, and what do they need to be? I need them to be this number right there. So right here, I've got my 6. So I'm going to have a 1 and a 5. Now, 5x squared, that splits up as 5x and x. What if I put the 5x here and the x here? 5 times what gives me 1? Is there any whole number? No. Okay, so you guess and check that way, or look and see out of these two boxes, what's the GCF? Does 5 go into 5? Yes, the 5x goes up here. That means the 1x goes here. X times what is 1x? Plus 1. 5x times what gives you 5x? Plus 1. So my answer is x plus 1 times 5x plus 1. Those are my factors. That's what you should have gotten. Let's go back now. Let's go again to number 3. Now, number 3, let me kind of help through this because in my class today we don't have the calculators. The first thing you have to go through is find the what? GCF. Okay, so when I look at this, though, I've got 14. Heck, I don't know if 14 goes into 60. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go to my calculator. And let's remember how to do that. I'm going to go to, let me go back into the home screen. I'm going to go math, arrow over to number, press 9, and I'm going to put in, that's a 14 underneath there, 14, comma, and I can either do 16 or 60. It doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and do 60 and press enter. And it tells me between 14 and 60 the GCF is 2. Well, does 2 go into 16? Sure does. So that means my GCF is going to be a 2. So the 2 will come out here. And let's see what happens. So let's divide everything by 2. I get 7x squared minus 30x plus 8. This now is what we put in the box. So I'm going to put 7x squared and 8 down here. Something x, something x. Now, multiply the 7 and the 8 right here. You get 56. Now we need to try and find the factors of 56. So the factors of 56, if you don't remember, go into the calculator, go to y equals, oops, turn that off, all right. Let's put in there 56 divided by x, second graph. I need the factors to add up together to give me, not negative 60, what number is it? Negative 30. Well, negative 7 and negative 8, if I add them together, it gives me negative 15. Let's see. Oh, there it is. I see it. Negative 2 and negative 28. If you add them together, it gives you 30. So right here, let's put in there negative 2 and negative 28. Now, go and put that in your box right now and see if you can figure out what your factors are. So right here, let's see, let me erase that little blue line. I should have negative 2 and negative 28. Now I know that 7x squared splits up as 7x and x. So I've got to figure it out. If I put the 7x up here and the x here, 7 times what gives me negative 2? Anything? No, that doesn't work. So if I switched it around and I put 7x here and x here, 7 times what is negative 28? Negative 4. X times what is negative 2? Negative 2x. So I have 7x minus 2 and x minus 4. Next one. Right here. First thing you're supposed to do is find your GCF. First thing you want to look at is what is your GCF? So somebody said 5. Now maybe you see that, but let's remind ourselves real quick on the calculator, our handy dandy calculator that y'all don't have right now. So, well, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to press math, arrow over to number, press the number 9. Now I'll start off by putting number 25, comma 45. This class is a little strange. All right, and pressing enter. Now it says that 5, it does say it's 5. Now does 5 go into 90? I could press 90. How do you know that? Oh, I was going to call you Diego. Sorry, Edar. Here we go. All right, so it's a 5. So now we're going to pull out the GCF. You make sure you put it at the beginning, because if you don't put it with what we come up with the factors on, if you leave that 5 off, it's wrong. So I'm going to divide by 5. So 25 divided by 5 is 5x squared. Negative 45 divided by 5? No, 9. Negative 9x. Negative 90 divided by 5? It is 18. So it's negative 18. Now, this in the black is what I have to put in the box. So I have 5x squared minus 18. Oop. So now on these I have something x, something x. Now this kind of stinks. I'm sitting here thinking trying to do it in my head. 5 times 18. 5 times negative 18 is negative 90. Oh, we did do that on. Okay, thanks. I don't even like my class right now. I'm just kidding. What? Would you like to check it on the calculator? Okay. All right, friends, here we go. Okay, so I need the factors of negative 90 that add up together to give me negative 9. You're throwing out numbers. All right, what 10? I have negative 9 and 10, but when you add those together, what do you get? Positive 1. Okay, you have to find the factors of negative 90. You add them together to find the middle term. So what I can do, Edar stole the calculator, so we'll do this one. Let's see. I have, go to y equals, put in there negative 90 divided by x, and second graph. And let's see, what they need to add up together to give me my middle term. My middle term is negative 9. Oh, well, wait, what's 6? Okay, that's a positive 9. Why are you yelling at me, Jonathan? All right, look, so let's go the other way then. It's not 9, negative 10. It is 15, positive 15. Oh, no, it's not. Jonathan, why are you confusing me? Look, 15 minus 6 is what? Positive 9. What is it supposed to be? I don't even want to repeat that word. No, it's not 9, negative 10, because that's negative 1. No. Okay, watch. I just was there, and I just jumped through there because y'all are discombobulating me. Look, right here. What is negative 15, Celeste, plus 6? Add these two together. What is that? Negative 9. Negative 15. Negative. We are having a hard day after spring break. Okay, so negative 15 plus 9. It wasn't 9. Why are y'all confusing me? Here we go. Ay, chalupas, hold on. We are having some major problems here. It is not old age, Edar. Here we go. All right. So my factors are negative 15 and 6. Whew. Gosh. I just want it on record that my class is being mean to me. All right. Negative 15. Negative 15 plus 9 equals negative 9 plus 6. Negative 15 plus 6 is negative 9, which is what I need right here. So I'm going to put in here negative 15. Negative 15 and positive 6. Now, I know that 5x squared splits up as 5x times x. The problem is it totally depends, Chris, where you put the 5x. If I put 5x up here and the x here, 5 times what gives me 6? Does that work? No, no whole number works. So if the 5x doesn't go up top, then guess what? It goes down the side. 5x times what gives me negative 15x? Negative 3. X times what gives me 6x? Plus 6. So my factors are going to be 5x plus 6 and x minus 3. But remember, it's the whole thing, including the GCF. Some of my friends are lost. Here we go. Number 1. Let's try number 1. Okay. First step is you're supposed to do what? We get out at 140. Please sit down. We're supposed to find the GCF. Okay, we're on pack period schedule. Okay. All right, so now I'm looking and I'm like, does 6 go into 52? Does 6? I don't even know off the top of my head. So I'll go here and I'll go math, arrow over to number 9 for GCD, and put in there 6, 52, and press enter. The GCF between 6 and 52 is 2. Well, does 2 go into 96? Yes, it does. So that means my GCF is going to be a 2. So let's go here and put the 2. I'm going to divide the 2 out of everything. And I've got 6 divided by 2, which is 3x squared. 52 divided by 2, and that 26x. 96 divided by 2, 48. Now this is what I put in the box. So I'm going to put in there 3x squared and 48. Something x, something x. Now, take 3 times 48. Thank you. It's 144. I need the factors of 144. I know off the top of my head 12 and 12. And negative 12 and negative 12. But do either of those add up together to give me 26? No. All right. So let me go in my handy dandy calculator. Oh, I already got a good answer here. But I'll put 144 divided by x, and Ed already told me it was what? Okay. So I'm adding, they need to add together to get 26. So let me, oh, I'm going the wrong way. All right, let's see. This is 51 when I add those together. Add those together, that gives me 40. That's a decimal. What about, well, it's error. It says 1 and, 0 times error. Yeah, it doesn't work. All right, so what'd you say it was? No, it's 18 and 8. Because 8 plus 18 is 26. You have to take the numbers that multiply together to give you this number. You have to find those first, and then you add them together to get the 26. That's because when I put those numbers in there, remember when we were multiplying, you were adding these two boxes together. So we just said it was 18 and 8. Now, 3x squared splits up as 3x times x. Now, if I put the x here and the 3x here, 3 times what gives me 8? Does that work? That doesn't work very nicely. So let's try it the other way. 3x and x. 3x times what gives me 18? Plus 6. X times what is 8x? Plus 8. So now I have 3x plus 8 times x plus 6. Okay. Let's try, flip your papers over, you guys with the blank ones. Let's do this one. Okay. Should write down this problem. Now, is there a GCF? Why not? Celeste, have you written this down? Okay, there's not, because 2 doesn't go into 11, 2 doesn't go into 5. So I'm going to go straight to the box. And I'm going to put in there in the top left-hand corner is 2. Oh, why? I forgot the squared. There we go. And then a 5. So I have something x, something x. Okay? multiply these two numbers right here. So I get 10. I need the factors of 10. 1 and 10, -1, -10. Oh, well, you're yelling at me. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I want the factors that add up together to give me 11. It is positive 10 and 1, yes. So now, I have to figure out 2x squared because it splits up as 2x times x. Okay, so what if I put the 2x here and the x here? Well, it does matter. Because if I put the 2x here, 2 times what gives me 1? Okay, and if you put your 10 here and the 1 here, then if you put your 2 over here, it works. But if you didn't, but if you put your 10 down here like I did, it totally matters. Because now I need to go up here, and the other thing you think about is out of these two boxes, what's my GCF? Well, 2. So that's why 2x goes here and an x goes here. Plus 1 plus 5. So my answer is x plus 5 times 2x plus 1.